Ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Well, we're here with Mary, and Mary, you started care here a couple of weeks ago because you were having migraines.
Right, and just tension headaches and migraines, probably 1 or 2 a month of migraines, and then just tension headaches in the last 6 months almost every day.
So you mentioned something to me just a few minutes ago about how much ibuprofen or Tylenol or something. What were you using?
I use Advil or ibuprofen. And
how often? How much?
And I will use it really to quickly to offset a migraine. So I would use 2 to 4 every day.
Okay. And how long would you say that's been going on?
Well, for every day, probably the last 6 months, I would say.
How long have you had headaches?
Really my whole life since I was a teenager, and but noticeably consistent and probably worse in the last 5 or 10 years probably.
Okay, and so you started care here a couple of weeks ago, and what's happening right now? You mentioned to me you only use Tylenol. What did you just say?
Right, I said this entire week only 2 Tylenol the whole week. Like, only one day did I get a slight headache in the middle of the day and some neck tension, and I took the Advil and it resolved, but that's really the only day that I even needed it. So that's a monumental.
So yeah, I was just going to say, that's pretty amazing. 6 months of headaches every day, and now you're down to like 5 out of 6 days doing really, 5 out of 7 days doing really pretty well. But the reason I asked you to do this today, because I am accustomed to hearing what you just said. That's every day in here. But I'm amazed, and I asked you to do this to help the next person. Because I want you to share what was going on in your head up until 2 weeks ago. You didn't know anything about this relationship. What were you thinking before then? Because I kept asking you, nobody told you? So what was it you thought were causing your headaches, and how is it that all of a sudden the lights went on for you about what's the connection?
Well, I had a lot of theories about it, and I assumed in general stress, but I know when I went to the doctor and went through the whole kind of Mayo thing for some other things, but saw a neurologist, and he just indicated his thought was hormonal because it did seem to coincide with my cycles. But I also, in the last 30 years, have had so much neck pain and tension and upper back pain, and I just never made the connection with the headaches, and I don't think anyone ever said to me, or even, and I may not have really sought a lot of help or said, okay, I have headaches and I also have neck and shoulder pain. I kind of just sort of bucked up on that, like, okay, I'm doing something wrong.
One more thing on my list.
Yeah, just, okay, it's stress, it's tension, it's carrying a purse around.
That's just messing with my headaches. That's just, not only do I have a headache.
Right. I never connected the two, that they could be, one could be related to the other.
And I so appreciate you doing this, because you are not the first person to say this. And somebody is going to see this story, your story, and they're going to be helped. You're going to help somebody by doing this right here. Because they're going to see you and go, wait a minute, that's me. I've been to the Mayo, I've been to all these guys, and nobody ever put 2 and 2 together for me before.
Right. Well, and I'm very grateful, and everything is falling into place. Things that were different pieces that were separate that actually weren't, that are connected, and I didn't know they were connected.
They're all connected. All from the brain down, above down, inside out. God does the healing. That's the deal.
Right.
We don't take any credit here, by the way. You were supposed to be healthy. That's true. You were supposed to be healthy before you came here.
Yeah.
You just removed the interference for you to be who you're supposed to be.
Absolutely.
This is who you're supposed to be.
Right, and I feel like it was God directed that I even came, because I really kind of got down to the bottom of my resources, like, where else did I go? I'm taking this Advil every day. Nothing is really changing. I'm living in fear of a migraine every single day. And it was like kind of a light bulb came on, and it was really just kind of out of nowhere, but I felt like it was God, and it was like, you need to check out a chiropractor. And even then I'm like, really?
Really? You're questioning God?
I won't. It's not like I'm not, I'm not a flake. I don't just hear voices all the time, but it was just that still small voice that says, this is a direction you need to look at, know, and I know people that have benefited by chiropractors, and I just thought lower back, that's the only reason I've ever been to a chiropractor, and I never thought about headaches, so.
Cool.
So, I feel better.
Well, thanks for sharing that. Somebody's going to be helped, so.
I hope so.
All right, thank you.
All right.